Monday. Coming in. There we go. And hello, South Florida. Welcome to all of our real estate friends out there, whether you're listening to us on the AM network here, on the FM network, all of the networks under the Money Talk Radio, WWNN, whether you're on 1470 AM, 95.3 on the FM, 96.9 also on the FM. That's two different ways. That's two of the 5 different ways that we broadcast this radio show 5 days a week. Live, you know it when, 5 p.m. So 5 by 5 by 5, AM, FM, also on the apps that you can take us with you on your portable devices, on the website at automaticlandlord.com. That's right, automaticlandlord.com also carries a live simultaneous streaming version of our radio show. And so that's 4 different ways. And the last one, you can not only hear it, but you can see it on our Facebook page. That's the 5th way. So if you want to go to facebook.com/The Real Estate Show, you can tune in, watch, and even participate. We have some comments going back and forth during the show. So it's a more interactive way of catching a piece of the real estate show. Your daily dose, 5 days a week. The Real Estate Show brings you information about real estate, about financing, renting, landlording, you name it. If it's real estate, we'll talk about it. And each week we start off the week with a theme in mind of what we want to talk about. Last 2 weeks we've been talking about landlording, especially as we were watching the activity in Washington, D.C. as they were getting ready to pass the latest stimulus bill, which affects real estate in so many different ways. Of course, you know, the stimulus bill and the Rescue Relief Act, as they call it, they are designed to pump money into the economy so that there is money for folks to be able to make their payments. And now we're also reading through the what and how for landlords and tenants to get some of the back payments caught up that wasn't able to be done during the pandemic. So very, very important stuff coming up here on the Real Estate Show. Also, our topic today we want to talk about is the concept of the credit and the rent, two simultaneously often completely different subjects. In fact, most people are of the understanding that credit and rent have nothing to do with each other, right? Because you get no credit for paying your rent other than from your landlord. Well, that's all changed now, and we have a program here that allows you to. It's a 3-step process that what we'll do is that we'll verify your rent with the lease, with the landlord, and with the tenant. And so by putting together these 3 pieces and then preparing it and presenting it through our ability to report to the credit bureaus, now we can create a rent history, which now becomes a payment history. And if you've been watching the Real Estate Show for a while, you know that we were talking about how important payment history is one of the heaviest factors in creating your credit score. And your credit score is probably one of the heaviest or most important numbers in the financial life of the average American here. So very important. And this ties in, if you've been following our conversation about helping first-time home buyers to be able to buy right away. And many times first-time home buyers have little or no credit history. So one of the nice things that we do here is that we can actually create, or I should say document. We won't create it, but we can document that which was not documented before, so that you have the ability to get mortgages in today's marketplace. You know, interest rates, even with the rise in the interest rates that we've had over the last several weeks, there is still a ton of great reasons to buy real estate right now. And so we're going to kind of talk on two sides of the coin this week. We're going to talk about the landlord side of things, which we've been talking about landlording. Last week, the week before, we gave you the reasons why you should think about becoming a landlord, why you should own a bit of real estate. And it is good for your well-being, physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. And we can definitely go back over the last 2 weeks. All you have to do is go to our website at Automatic Landlord. If you missed any one of those shows, remember, we're on live 5 days a week. So there are 5 different shows over the last 2 weeks. That would be 10 shows talking about landlording, everything from the why to the how to the news about landlording, the stimulus, and some of the incentives and relief items that are in the new package. And then, of course, we talk about the finances, the numbers, the importance, especially in this day and age, of whether you want to call it a gig, an extra source of income. But what I really like is what I call multiple sources of income. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about different sources in terms of different areas of the economy. And when it comes to real estate, it's especially nice to have multiple sources of multiple properties, because now one person can't or doesn't pay, it doesn't take you off track. You've got that little bit of diversification, which is very, very important. So those are the things that we're going to be laying out this week. Like I said, on Mondays, what we like to do on our show is lay out the theme. You got that now. 2, we like to lay out the agenda of what we'll be talking. On Tuesday, we're going to be talking about some of the technicalities, the tools, tips, and the strategies of what we're doing in regards to that tenant and landlord relationship, and how it can really be a win-win for both sides. And you know, the days where you didn't want to give your tenant too much information because they'll leave you, well, hopefully last week was a good illustration of some of the reasons why you want to make them very well informed, because in the end, your tenant may be your best exit strategy when it's time to exit that property. Now, you could be exiting that property because you're done and you're retired and you don't need it, don't want it. It could be because you're now upgrading into some of the properties. And we're going to talk about that in the coming weeks, of how to exit one property into another without paying any income tax. So this is very apropos as we round out the month of March and start going into tax season. One of the things that you hopefully heard on our show last week, we were talking about that you got an automatic extension from April to May 17th now. That's where the personal income tax returns will be due for 2020. Be very interesting. This is obviously because of the pandemic and the way that people are operating. Many from home, many from different from or part-time from offices or not, and even the government offices, which many of them are operating partially, at least at reduced capacity. So you've got this rotation, and therefore we've seen a lot of delays in applications and the different things that you need from the government. So then on Wednesday, we normally go to our midweek report, and we talk and go out into the marketplace, get some data, some articles, basically to support what we're talking about and why this really is appropriate at this particular time. And then Thursday, we go into our About the Money, where we'll talk about the finances as it regards to this. And we'll definitely lay out the case for why having multiple streams of income and becoming a landlord is a very good path to consider. And then that'll take us to Friday, where we'll finish up the week. We'll hit the high points, a quick summary of the week. and oftentimes even add to some of the news and updates that were going on. And from time to time, we'll even talk to you about some of the deals of the week that are going on out there right now for landlords. And we'll talk a little bit about that and what's going on there. Now, if you miss any of the shows, remember, they're all recorded. They're all posted both on our website at automaticlandlord.com. You can listen to them on demand. You can even download the podcast version and take it with you. And you can also go to our Facebook page. They're there also. The recordings, the video recordings are there in reverse chronological order. So when we come back, I want to jump into this concept of documenting the rent. I'm going to talk to you why it's important for the landlord. I'm going to talk to you why it's important for the tenant and why the two need to work together in order to accomplish that. So don't touch that dial. You're listening to The Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Willner, and I will be right back. So how's everybody doing over there in Facebook land? Let's see what we got over here. Hey, Felipe and Erica. So we're coming back already. I was on a really interesting call with some real estate opportunities in Brazil right now. We'll have to talk about that during the week as well. And welcome back. For those of you just joining us here on The Real Estate Show, my name is Eric Willner. I'm your host. I'm your host here of The Real Estate Show now, celebrating its 22nd year here in South Florida. And we not only have been broadcasting based here out of Southeast Florida, but today the show has gone worldwide. We stream it live over the internet, so it's accessible where there are no walls, no barriers, no limitations. You can listen to us on some of the free apps on your cell phone. You can listen to it on our website at automaticlandlord.com. You can even watch us and listen to us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. I also want to remind our listeners that we have a number of workshops this week. And so you'll definitely not want to miss that. On Monday night, we have our Equity Accelerator Workshop. That's tonight at 9 p.m. If you'd like to attend and get a free invitation for the Zoom call for that training, that is tonight at 9 p.m. Text the word equity to 561-861-2366. That's the word equity to 561-861-2366. We're going to show you how to build equity faster in real estate. This is an in-depth conversation where we'll take you down that path of how to pay off your debt faster, build equity faster. And those are two separate, distinct, but when done together, it can do amazing things in building your asset and your net worth. Then on Tuesday nights, we have our Credit Accelerator Workshop. This is where we're going to talk about a lot of these attributes that we're talking about and how to improve your credit, how to create your credit, how to make your rent credit show up on your credit report so that you get a very valuable payment history, especially good payment history. So that is Tuesday night. If you want to attend that, just type the word credit to 561-861-2366, and we'll send you out that appropriate Zoom link for that meeting Tuesday night, and that will be at 8 p.m. Then on Wednesday night, we're going to be bringing back the round table, and this is cool. This is for entrepreneurs, landlords, real estate investors, and this is sort of a mastermind open forum that we have. It's been very popular. We did a series of them. Everybody loved them. They wanted it to come back. So while we're still continuing the university series on Thursday, and so the words to remember to text, depending on which one. Monday night is equity. Tuesday night is credit. Wednesday is big table, and Thursday is the university series. Just type in the word university to 561-861-2366. All the same number, just different words trigger different invitations. And there's one last word that I want to put out there. This is a trigger for anyone looking to study the opportunity to be an intern here with us here at the Real Estate Show. What we're looking for in exchange is someone with social media expertise. If you understand social media strategy, you have the ability to design and create engaging posts for us. We're looking for that, and there's a nice reward to that. So type in the word intern to 561-861-2366. So getting back to our conversation about the crediting or getting credit and having credit be built by your payment history. And what this does is using the landlord, and on a one-on-one basis, needless to say, a landlord can't report to the credit bureaus. In fact, it's always been one of the frustrations, because as a landlord, one of the sticks, in fact, in every other form of collection, credit cards, loans, car loans, mortgages, one of the sticks that they can use as a extra incentive to get their payments on time has been reporting to the credit bureaus. But landlords, mostly mom and pop individual landlords, they didn't have that, because if they were not an institution that was reporting a business, they weren't allowed. Well, that's changed. And now even you and I, as individual small business landlords, we can now report to the credit bureaus both good and bad payment history. Now, I'm going to talk mostly on the good side of things. Hey, John, because the idea here is to help the tenant creating that payment history so that one day he may be able to buy the property that he's been living in. As I talked about last week, they are the single highest payer that's willing to pay out there in the marketplace. Plus you save on real estate commissions, plus you save on inspections and repairs. There's a whole myriad of reasons why, if you could sell from you, the landlord, to the tenant, and not have the middleman in the process, there's all sorts of savings, which means higher price, and not only that, but also net more dollars in your pocket. For the landlord or for the tenant, we talked about having the credit as a stick, but it can also be a carrot, because here's an opportunity that the landlord now is offering out that carrot. It says, listen, if you pay on time, I'm going to be able to report your credit to the credit bureaus, and that excellent payment history is going to boost. Now, just last week, we had a situation, one of these exactly this way, and it bumped their credit up over 100 points just by adding the credit history. And now here's the magic part of this, is that I can do this not just going from today forward, but I can also report backwards. In other words, I can now use verification methods that I can verify as much as 12 months back. I can even go so far as 24 months. And as you know, the more credit history that you have, the better the jump will be. So if you've been somewhere for multiple years, I can go as far back as 2 years of credit history and bring that and show that as an excellent payment history. And I might even be able to do more than the 2 years. And like I said, and then I can continue that. So even if I don't have a lot of other credit cards, car loans, or any credit even at all, this can be the first way of establishing that. And so this new service that we have, it's making the process easier for everyone. It is, and then we set it up so that it becomes automated. So it is, like I said, it's a phenomenal opportunity to create credit where it didn't exist and to boost credit where you had basically none. And if you remember, I also was talking about, and I'm going to say a quick hello. Simone is on there. Janice, nice to see you there on our Facebook feed. But what we can also do, and so the initial conversation that we have, and that's why if you're interested in getting more information about this, type in the word credit and text it to 561-861-2366, because we're going to have a conversation. There's going to be no credit reports pulled. There's no private information done. This is just to talk about kind of a snapshot of where you are and what you're trying to do. When we finish that conversation, we'll have established and determined whether we want to take the next step. And the next step could be one of two things. Number one is I can take your existing credit report, exactly the credit that you have, and then I can run it through a software program that we have that will tell me that based on all the different credit cards and car loans and mortgages and lines of credit and whatever that you have right now, what the maximum that I could improve your credit score without adding anything. And that's very helpful because sometimes it's a matter of just sort of redistributing where the credit is. Because remember, usage and the usage per credit line is something that you will affect your credit score. So let's put it in very simple terms. If I have a credit card with a $10,000 limit, if I'm at $10,000, even though I'm paying everything on time, because my usage is considered to be high and I'm running out of additional credit to go to, then there are points deducted from my credit score because my usage is high. On the other side, if I'm not using it at all, it also doesn't add to my credit score. The ideal situation is to use somewhere between 30 and 35% of the credit limit. And so what the way that the credit bureaus and their algorithms that calculate the credit score look at it is that if you operate well below your limit, but you're using it and you're using it correctly, in other words, you use it, you pay it every month like clockwork, and everything is good, that is what boosts your credit score. So imagine if I had two $10,000 credit cards, one of them was at 10,000, the other one was at 0. A lot of times by simply transferring half of that over to the other one, and so now I have two $5,000 balances against a 10,000 limit instead of a 10,000 and 0, I can actually alter and improve my credit. The second thing we'll do there is then we'll look at it. Does it make sense? Do we need to go grab some more credit and create that and document that credit my rent that I've been talking about on today's show? So there's two very interesting approaches. If you want to get more information, again, you can either text the word credit to 561-861-2366 or give us a call toll free at 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. Or you can always send us a message on our website at automaticlandlord.com. So if you're driving out there and you can't write any of this down, just remember automaticlandlord.com. Reach out to us right there, and we'll be happy to help you out. Remember, that's our mission here, is to educate and empower more people to own a piece of the American dream. So for today, that's it. This is Eric Willner signing off. Until tomorrow, drive safe, keep washing those hands, and make it a great day. Bye-bye. All right. I'm going to say thank you, Pierre. You too.